This sounds crazy until you experience it, but women can feel when a man is on semen retention, even if you never say a word. And it's not spiritual fluff, it's biological, psychological, and energetic. If you've been retained for even a few weeks, you probably already noticed this. More stares, more respect, random conversations, different energy. Today I'm breaking down why women sense it, what they're actually responding to, and how to use it the right way without becoming weird or needy. Women don't sense retention, they sense regulation. See, what really tends to happen when you go on something like retention slash no FAP is that what tends to happen is that you just feel more at ease with yourself. You're regulated now. See, the thing is, before, what you were doing when you were relapsing consistently is that you were looking around, you were not in control, you were in a state where you needed a validation. This is the number one subconscious trigger, is you're needing validation. And this can come across with your body language when you're on, when you've been on nofap, refraining from any type of lust or anything like that. What tends to happen to you, women aren't really detecting female retention itself, they're sensing nervous system regulation. When you're retaining, your dopamine isn't fried, your body isn't really leaking energy, and you're calmer, slower, and more grounded. Women are biologically wired to attract, to read emotional and psychological stability. A regulated man feels safe, attractive, and solid. That alone separates you from like 90% of men. Number two, the point two, retention changes your eye contact. It's a big one. Retention, your eyes don't dart, you don't over-explain, and you're also comfortable with silence. Women read eye contact as confidence and self-control. Not I want something from you energy, but I'm good either way. That polarity hits different. See, when you are able to do this and convey this, the number one thing that subconsciously happens to you when you keep lusting, especially when it's like on your phone or anything like that, is that you're conveying subconsciously a sense of irritability slash shame and guilt. Subconsciously, these are more dense vibrations, meaning everything you just might do a little bit different things just to seek validation. This is exactly what it is when you don't really need validation and you're just normally you in your most masculine state. This is where you're probably going to get the most attraction. See, the thing is, what happened one time, and this recently just happened because I was at the gym and I was bench pressing and stuff like that, and this girl literally just comes and starts working right next to me. And the thing is, it got to the point where I was literally trying to re-rack my weights, but the thing is, she was like so close where I literally had to I really had to, I didn't necessarily tell her, but it was so obvious. It was like, yo, I need some space here. You think you need a different place, but that's neither here or there. When you're not chasing, and another thing is your body language is shifting. You're not chasing release, your body relaxes. Your shoulders drop, your movements slow down, and you stop fidgeting. More subconsciously associate relaxed, controlled movement with leadership and dominance. No loud dominance, quiet authority. Exactly, and this ties into my point about needing validation. I believe this is the number one thing. When you've truly done things that you can quietly validate yourself from, you don't necessarily need people's validation, to be honest, because you've already done the hard things. The reason why people need validation from other people when it comes to men and outside validation is that they're looking for someone's approval because they don't think they're doing enough or they're doing the right thing. This is why this is where your little kid comes from. When you were a little kid, you always were trying to seek approval from people who had higher social authority. But now, since you're a man, it's easy. If you truly go make the days count and you're trying to compete with yourself, then other people's other people's validation, you necessarily don't really need it, to be honest. It's an addition. It's supplemental, It's not something that you need. The fourth point is retention removes thirst. This is the part where no one wants to admit, and I'm looking at these notes. Most men leak desire. It comes out in their tone, posture, and attention. Retention, that hunger disappears. You're not scanning the room. You're not trying to impress. And paradoxically, that's when women notice you. I'm telling you, when you're, I'm seeing it from like these people, these creators. They say that the times when they've actually attracted women the most is literally when they weren't seeking after them, when they were literally just, doing their own thing type of thing. And the thing is, the point five is retention is rare. It's discipline is rare. Self-control is rare. So when women don't really know what it is, but they know it's different. And their intuition picks out for the men who aren't ruled by impulse, subconsciously. So retention isn't magic, and this is an important warning. It's if you're insecure, angry on purpose, well, retention will amplify that too. See, that's the thing too. That's why some people are saying that they've had like bad luck when you've been on retention, because it's both sides of the spectrum. You have to look at this retention literally just amplifies who you already are. So if you're someone who's angry, you're unpurposeful, undisciplined. What actually that's going to do is going to irritate you it's going to make you more irritable, because you have extra energy and you're just not really doing anything with it. So it's literally going to make you, you're probably going to get a bigger relapse, because you're sabotaging yourself. The goal isn't attraction. Attraction is a side effect of alignment. So honestly, when it comes to retention, channel it into your mission, your body, and your work. Let women come to you. Don't chase, don't perform. Presence beats pursuit every time. It really comes down to just you being, like I said, the best version of yourself, stacking consistent wins, and eventually you're going to start realizing that, you're feeling good about yourself, and now you can naturally attract whoever you want to do just based off who you are. This is what they don't really tell you, When you feel high on yourself, it's really easy to attract anybody, because this is literally biology. It really comes down to feeling as good about yourself as humanly possible on a physical, spiritual, and a mental level. So if you experience this on retention, comment retention down below. This isn't about women. It's about becoming undeniable. It's about becoming undeniable. So we're going to leave it at that. But sincerely, if you are someone who is looking to attract maybe a woman or something like that, number one reason that I can really tell you, and this is hopefully, it's not cliche, but it really just comes down to you being able to feel good about yourself when nobody is watching, stacking those legitimate days on purpose, and then that will carry with you with your body language and all these different things. And this is how you will start being the center of the room. Now, obviously, another thing too that guys don't really talk about. Retention alone isn't going to save you. I told you it's going to amplify who you already are. So you have to keep up with your physical attraction. This is where the foot in the door gets in. This is where you can put your foot in the door. If you're not keeping up with your physical attraction, because I had some people complain about, retention isn't working for me. I've been on it for somewhat days, but they're neglecting how they look. You have to realize that, we as humans are physical creatures. People pass the eye test. So if you're just someone who thinks that retention is going to save you, it's not necessarily the case. What I'm telling you is going to amplify who you already are. If you're a disciplined man, then you're going to be 10x disciplined, and this is what's actually going to be more interesting, to anybody who has sense. With that being said, I hope if you're on retention, let me know what streak you're on. Let me see what you guys are working with, how long you've been on it, and what experiences you have, and we